What if the ancient world held secrets about time and the future that we've only begun to unravel? Across the globe, monuments like the Great Pyramid of Giza, Stonehenge, and the Mayan temples stand as silent witnesses to a time when humanity looked to the stars not just for navigation, but for guidance. These ancient structures weren't just feats of engineering. They were celestial calendars, cosmic clocks, and perhaps even predictors of events yet to come. How did civilizations thousands of years ago align their buildings with such precision to the movements of the sun, moon, and stars? And what did they know about the passage of time that we've since forgotten or overlooked? The truth is, ancient cultures didn't just mark time, they seemed to anticipate it. From predicting eclipses to forecasting seasonal changes, they wove together astronomy, mathematics, and spirituality into a tapestry of knowledge that feels almost otherworldly. But what if their methods weren't just about tracking days and years? What if they were trying to decode something far more profound, the very fabric of destiny itself? In this journey, we'll explore how ancient prophecies and astronomical predictions intersect, revealing a lost art of timekeeping that connected humanity to the cosmos in ways we're only now beginning to understand. Together, we'll uncover the mysteries of how these civilizations foresaw events centuries in advance, and what their wisdom might teach us about time, fate, and the universe itself. Ready to step into the shadows of history and discover what lies hidden in the stars? Let's begin. Long before telescopes or modern technology, ancient civilizations looked to the heavens as a kind of cosmic instruction manual. For the Egyptians, Mayans, and Babylonians, the stars weren't just distant lights, they were the very framework of life. Imagine standing in the shadow of the Great Pyramid of Giza, its massive stones perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions. This wasn't a fortunate accident, it was a deliberate act of precision designed to mirror the order of the cosmos. Similarly, the Mayans built Chichen Itza with such exactitude that during the equinoxes, the sun cast a shadow resembling a serpent slithering down the pyramid steps. These weren't just architectural marvels, they were celestial calendars etched in stone. But why did these cultures go to such lengths? For the Egyptians, the alignment of the pyramids with the stars of Orion's belt wasn't just about tracking time, it was about connecting the earthly realm with the divine. They believed that by mirroring the heavens, they could ensure harmony between the physical and spiritual worlds. The Mayans, on the other hand, used their observatories to predict not only agricultural cycles, but also eclipses and planetary movements with astonishing accuracy. Their codices, filled with intricate star charts, reveal a society deeply attuned to the rhythms of the cosmos. The Babylonians took this a step further, developing some of the earliest known systems of astrology. They mapped the movements of planets and stars, believing that celestial patterns held the keys to understanding human destiny. Their ziggurats, towering structures resembling stairways to the sky, served as both temples and observatories. Here, priests would interpret the heavens, offering predictions that guided everything from harvests to royal decisions. What's fascinating is how these civilizations didn't just see astronomy as a tool for survival, it was a bridge to something greater. They believed the stars held secrets, not just about the passage of time, but about the unfolding of fate itself. Their monuments weren't merely practical, they were prophetic, designed to capture and decode the messages of the universe. As we explore these ancient practices, it's impossible not to wonder, were they simply tracking the stars, or were they tapping into a deeper, almost mystical understanding of time and destiny? The answer might lie in the way they wove together science, spirituality, and prophecy into a single, unified vision of the cosmos. And as we continue this journey, we'll uncover how their celestial insights might still hold relevance for us today, not just as historical curiosities, but as profound lessons about our place in the universe. One of the most remarkable achievements of ancient civilizations was their ability to create calendars so precise that they rival modern systems. Take the Mayan long count, for instance, a calendar that didn't just measure days or years but mapped out vast cycles of time spanning thousands of years. To the Maya, time wasn't linear, it was cyclical, with each era carrying its own spiritual significance. Their calendar was so accurate that it could predict celestial events like eclipses and solstices centuries in advance. But here's the fascinating part: the long count wasn't just about marking dates. It was a tool for understanding the cosmic rhythms that shaped their world, and perhaps even ours. The Egyptians, too, had their own sophisticated system, the solar calendar, which divided the year into 12 months of 30 days each, with 5 extra days added to align with the solar cycle. This calendar wasn't just a practical tool for agriculture or governance. It was deeply intertwined with their religious beliefs. The rising of the star Sirius, for example, signaled the annual flooding of the Nile, a life-giving event that sustained their civilization. By tracking this celestial event, the Egyptians didn't just predict the flood, they saw it as a divine act, a sign of the gods' favor. Their calendar wasn't just a measure of time, it was a bridge between the earthly and the divine. What's truly astounding is the level of precision these ancient systems achieved without the technology we take for granted today. The Mayans, for example, calculated the length of a solar year to within minutes of the modern value. Their ability to predict eclipses wasn't just a feat of mathematics, it was a testament to their deep understanding of the cosmos. And while we might see these calendars as historical artifacts, they were, in their time, living documents, guides to navigating not just the seasons, but the spiritual and celestial forces that shaped their existence. But why did these cultures invest so much effort into creating such intricate systems? The answer lies in their belief that time wasn't just a series of moments to be counted. It was a force to be understood and, in some cases, anticipated. The Mayans, for example, believed that each cycle of their long count calendar carried its own energy, influencing everything from individual lives to the fate of entire civilizations. Their calendar wasn't just a tool for the present, it was a map of the future encoded with prophecies and cosmic wisdom. As we examine these ancient calendars, it's hard not to wonder, were they simply tracking time, or were they decoding something far more profound? The precision of their systems suggests they had access to knowledge that we're only now beginning to rediscover. Perhaps their calendars weren't just about predicting eclipses or floods. They were about understanding the deeper patterns of the universe itself. And as we continue to explore these ancient systems, we might find that their wisdom holds clues not just to the past, but to the future as well. The year 2012, a date that sparked global fascination, fear, and endless speculation. According to the Mayan long count calendar, this marked the end of a vast cosmic cycle known as the 13th Bacton, a period spanning over 5,000 years. For many, this prophecy was interpreted as a doomsday prediction, fueling sensational claims of apocalypse and catastrophe. But was this truly what the Mayans intended? Or was their message far more nuanced, pointing not to an end, but to a transformation, a cosmic reset, if you will? To understand this, we need to dive deeper into how the Mayans viewed time itself. For the Maya, time wasn't a straight line leading to a single, dramatic conclusion. Instead, it was a series of interconnected cycles, each carrying its own energy and significance. The end of a cycle didn't mean destruction. It signified renewal, a chance for the universe to recalibrate and for humanity to evolve. The 13th Bacton wasn't the finale. It was a transition point, much like the changing of seasons or the turning of a page. This cyclical view of time was woven into every aspect of their culture, from their rituals to their architecture, reflecting a profound belief in the interconnectedness of all things. But why did the Mayans place such importance on this particular cycle? Their astronomical observations played a crucial role. By meticulously tracking the movements of celestial bodies, they identified patterns that mirrored the rhythms of life on Earth. The end of the 13th Bacton coincided with a rare astronomical alignment, the winter solstice sun intersecting with the Milky Way's dark rift, a region they associated with creation and rebirth. This alignment wasn't just a cosmic coincidence, it was a symbolic moment, a cosmic doorway through which the old could give way to the new. Modern interpretations of the 2012 prophecy vary widely. Some saw it as a call to spiritual awakening, urging humanity to shed outdated ways of thinking and embrace a higher consciousness. Others viewed it as a warning, a reminder of the fragility of our world and the need for harmony with nature. And while the doomsday predictions captured headlines, the quieter, more reflective interpretations may hold the deeper truth. The Mayans weren't forecasting the end of the world, they were inviting us to consider how we might transform ourselves and our world in the face of cosmic change. This brings us to a broader theme, the cyclical nature of time as understood by ancient cultures. From the Egyptians to the Babylonians, many civilizations saw time not as a straight line but as a spiral, a series of repeating patterns and opportunities for growth. The Mayan prophecies remind us that endings are often beginnings in disguise, and that the universe operates in cycles far grander than our individual lifespans. By studying their insights, we might find not only a deeper understanding of the past, but also guidance for navigating the challenges of our own time. So, was 2012 the end of an era or the dawn of a new one? Perhaps it's both a reminder that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning, and that the cycles of time are as much about renewal as they are about continuity. As we continue to explore the wisdom of the ancients, we're reminded that their messages weren't just about predicting the future. They were about understanding the timeless rhythms that shape our existence. And in that understanding, we might just find the tools to navigate our own cosmic journey. High on the slopes of Mount Parnassus in ancient Greece, the Oracle of Delphi sat at the very heart of the known world. Known as the Pythia, she was more than a priestess, she was a bridge between the mortal realm and the divine. Kings, generals, and ordinary citizens alike would make the pilgrimage to her sanctuary, seeking guidance on matters of war, love, and destiny. But what made her prophecies so revered, and how did the movements of the stars and planets play a role in her visions? The oracle's prophecies were not random whispers from the gods. They were deeply intertwined with the rhythms of the cosmos. The priests of Delphi believed that the gods spoke through celestial signs, eclipses, comets, and the alignment of planets. These events were seen as divine messages, and the Pythia, in her trance-like state, was thought to interpret them with uncanny accuracy. Her prophecies often came in cryptic riddles, which the priests would then decode, linking them to the celestial patterns they observed. For the ancient Greeks, the heavens weren't just a backdrop to human affairs. They were an active participant, shaping the course of history. One of the most famous examples of this connection lies in the story of King Croesus of Lydia. Before launching a campaign against the Persians, he sought the oracle's counsel. Her cryptic response, "If you cross the river Halys, you will destroy a great empire." Croesus took this as a favorable sign, only to realize too late that the empire destined to fall was his own. What's fascinating is that this prophecy was delivered during a time of significant celestial activity, a period when the Greeks believed the gods were particularly active in the affairs of men. The oracle's visions, it seems, were not just spiritual, they were celestial, rooted in the patterns of the stars. But how did the Pythia achieve such a profound connection to the divine? The process was as much about ritual as it was about inspiration. Before delivering her prophecies, she would enter a sacred chamber beneath the temple, where she inhaled vapors rising from a fissure in the earth. These fumes, believed to be the breath of Apollo himself, would induce a trance, allowing her to commune with the gods. While modern science suggests these vapors may have been hallucinogenic gases, the ancient Greeks saw them as a direct link to the divine. Combined with the priest's knowledge of celestial events, the oracle's visions became a powerful tool for navigating the uncertainties of life. This blending of the divine and the celestial wasn't unique to Delphi. Across the ancient world, from the shamans of Siberia to the druids of Britain, seers and prophets often looked to the heavens for guidance. They believed that the stars and planets held the keys to understanding the will of the gods, and by extension, the fate of humanity. The Oracle of Delphi stands as one of the most iconic examples of this practice, a reminder that ancient prophecy wasn't just about predicting the future, it was about interpreting the cosmic language of the universe. As we reflect on the legacy of the Oracle, it's hard not to marvel at the sophistication of ancient thought. They saw the cosmos not as a distant, indifferent void, but as a living, breathing entity deeply connected to the lives of mortals. The Pythia's prophecies remind us that the ancients weren't just observers of the stars, they were participants in a grand, celestial dialogue. And as we continue to explore the secrets of ancient prophecy, we might find that their wisdom still has much to teach us about the mysteries of time, destiny, and our place in the universe. Across the globe, ancient monuments rise from the earth like silent sentinels, their stones arranged in patterns that seem to whisper secrets of the cosmos. From the windswept plains of Salisbury to the mist-shrouded peaks of the Andes, structures like Stonehenge, the Temple of Karnak, and Machu Picchu were not merely feats of engineering, they were masterpieces of celestial alignment. These ancient architects didn't just build for the present, they designed for eternity, crafting structures that mirrored the heavens above. But what drove them to align their creations so precisely with the stars, the sun, and the moon? And what messages might these alignments hold for us today? Take Stonehenge, for example. This iconic circle of standing stones, erected over 4,000 years ago, has long puzzled archaeologists and historians. While its exact purpose remains debated, one thing is clear. Its alignment with the summer solstice sunrise is no accident. As the sun rises on the longest day of the year, its rays pierce through the monument's central axis, bathing the stones in golden light. This alignment wasn't just a practical marker of the seasons. It was a sacred moment, a celebration of the sun's life-giving power. For the builders of Stonehenge, the solstice wasn't just an astronomical event. It was a spiritual one, a time when the boundary between the earthly and the divine grew thin. Similarly, the Temple of Karnak in Egypt stands as a testament to the deep connection between architecture and the heavens. Built over centuries, this sprawling complex was aligned with the rising of the star Sirius, an event that heralded the annual flooding of the Nile. For the Egyptians, this celestial alignment wasn't just a matter of practicality. It was a divine signal, a promise of renewal and abundance. The temple's massive columns and towering obelisks were designed not only to awe but also to harmonize with the rhythms of the cosmos, creating a space where the earthly and the celestial could meet. High in the Andes, Machu Picchu offers another stunning example of celestial alignment. This ancient Incan city, perched on a mountain ridge, was carefully positioned to align with the solstices. During the winter solstice, the sun's rays pass through a precisely carved window in the Temple of the Sun, illuminating a sacred stone within. For the Incas, this alignment was more than a calendar. It was a spiritual act, a way of honoring Inti, the sun god, and ensuring his continued favor. The precision of these alignments speaks to a profound understanding of astronomy, but also to a belief in the sacredness of time itself. These alignments weren't just about tracking the passage of days or years, they were about capturing the essence of time. For these ancient cultures, the cosmos was alive, a dynamic force that shaped every aspect of life. By aligning their structures with celestial events, they sought to create a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a way to tap into the rhythms of the universe itself. This interplay between the practical and the spiritual is what makes these monuments so fascinating. They were both calendars and cathedrals, tools for timekeeping and portals to the sacred. But there's another layer to these alignments, the concept of sacred geometry. The ancients believed that certain shapes and proportions held intrinsic power, reflecting the harmony of the cosmos. The circle, for example, symbolized unity and eternity, while the square represented stability and order. By incorporating these shapes into their designs, they sought to create structures that resonated with the fundamental patterns of existence. This wasn't just about aesthetics, it was about aligning their world with the deeper order of the universe. As we study these ancient monuments, it's impossible not to marvel at the sophistication of their design. They were more than just buildings, they were maps of the cosmos, encoded with knowledge that transcended generations. And while we may never fully understand the mysteries they hold, their alignments remind us of a profound truth, that the heavens and the earth are not separate realms, but part of a single, interconnected whole. In their stones, we find not only the wisdom of the past, but also a timeless reminder of our place within the grand tapestry of the universe. The Zodiac, a word that evokes images of starry skies, mysterious symbols, and the promise of insight into our lives. But what many don't realize is that the Zodiac isn't just a modern tool for horoscopes. It's one of humanity's oldest maps of time and destiny. Its origins stretch back thousands of years to a time when ancient astronomers gazed at the night sky and saw not just stars but stories. These stories, carved into the constellations, became the foundation for a system that would shape civilizations and influence how people understood their place in the universe. The Zodiac, as we know it, began with the Babylonians, who divided the sky into 12 equal sections, each named after a constellation that the sun passed through over the course of a year. These divisions weren't arbitrary, they were tied to the movement of celestial bodies, creating a celestial calendar that mirrored the rhythms of life on Earth. Each constellation carried its own symbolism, reflecting the seasonal changes and the cycles of nature. For the Babylonians, the Zodiac wasn't just a way to track time, it was a way to predict the future, to uncover the will of the gods written in the stars. As this system spread across the ancient world, it was adopted and adapted by cultures from Egypt to Greece. The Greeks, in particular, infused the zodiac with rich mythology, linking each sign to the tales of gods and heroes. Aries, for example, was associated with the golden ram of Greek legend, while Leo was tied to the Nemean lion slain by Hercules. These stories weren't just entertaining, they were a way of encoding deeper truths about human nature and the forces that shape our lives. The movement of planets through these constellations was believed to influence not just individuals but entire nations, guiding everything from personal fate to the rise and fall of empires. What's fascinating is how intertwined the zodiac was with ancient timekeeping systems. The Egyptians, for instance, used the heliacal rising of Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, to mark the beginning of their year. But they also observed the sun's passage through the zodiac, creating a dual system that linked earthly time with celestial cycles. Similarly, the Mayans, though separated by oceans and millennia, developed their own zodiac-like system, using it to predict agricultural cycles and celestial events. Across cultures, the zodiac served as a bridge between the practical and the prophetic, a tool for both measuring time and interpreting destiny. But why did these ancient cultures place so much significance on the zodiac? The answer lies in their belief that the cosmos was a living, interconnected system. The movement of planets and stars wasn't seen as random. It was a reflection of divine order, a language through which the gods communicated with humanity. By studying the Zodiac, ancient astrologers believed they could decode this language, uncovering insights into everything from individual personalities to the fate of nations. It was a way of understanding not just the what of life, but the why. This brings us to the intriguing possibility that the Zodiac might hold keys to understanding ancient prophecies. Many of the predictions attributed to figures like the Oracle of Delphi or the Mayan priests were based on celestial patterns, alignments, eclipses, and planetary movements that were interpreted through the lens of the Zodiac. These prophecies weren't just guesses, they were the product of a sophisticated system that linked the heavens to human destiny. And while modern science might dismiss astrology as pseudoscience, there's no denying the profound impact it had on ancient cultures, shaping their understanding of time, fate, and the universe itself. As we explore the Zodiac's role in ancient prophecy, it's worth asking, what can it teach us today? Beyond the daily horoscopes, the Zodiac reminds us of humanity's enduring desire to find meaning in the cosmos. It's a testament to our ancestors' ingenuity, their ability to see patterns in the stars and weave them into a system that guided their lives. And while we may no longer look to the Zodiac for divine guidance, its legacy endures, a reminder that the stars above have always been more than just points of light. They are a map of time, destiny, and the timeless quest to understand our place in the universe. What became of the ancient wisdom that once allowed civilizations to read the stars like a book, to predict eclipses with pinpoint accuracy, and to build monuments that aligned perfectly with the cosmos? The answer lies in a complex tapestry of time, turmoil, and transformation. Over centuries, the secrets of ancient astronomy and prophecy were scattered, buried, or deliberately obscured, leaving behind only fragments of a once vast knowledge system. But how exactly did this happen, and could we still recover what was lost? One of the most significant factors in the disappearance of ancient knowledge was the collapse of the civilizations that created it. Empires like the Maya, the Egyptians, and the Babylonians faced invasions, natural disasters, and internal upheavals that disrupted their societies and shattered their institutions. When conquerors swept through these lands, they often destroyed temples, burned libraries, and suppressed the spiritual and intellectual practices of the people they subjugated. The Library of Alexandria, for example, was one of the greatest repositories of ancient knowledge in the world until it was lost to fire and conflict, taking countless texts on astronomy, prophecy, and philosophy with it. Cultural shifts also played a role. As new religions and belief systems emerged, older practices were often dismissed as superstition or heresy. The rise of monotheistic religions in particular led to the suppression of many ancient traditions as focus shifted from the stars to a singular divine authority. Sacred texts and oral traditions that had been passed down for generations were forgotten or actively erased, leaving gaps in our understanding of how these ancient systems work. But not all was lost. Natural disasters, while devastating, sometimes preserved knowledge in unexpected ways. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius, for instance, buried the Roman city of Pompeii under layers of ash, sealing away artifacts and writings that would later be rediscovered by archaeologists. Similarly, the dry climate of Egypt helped preserve papyrus scrolls and temple inscriptions that might have otherwise disintegrated over time. These accidental time capsules offer modern researchers a glimpse into the minds of the ancients, providing clues to their astronomical and prophetic practices. Today, scholars and scientists are working tirelessly to piece together the fragments of this lost knowledge. Advanced technologies like 3D scanning, satellite imaging, and artificial intelligence are being used to decode ancient texts, map forgotten ruins, and analyze celestial alignments in ways that were once impossible. For example, researchers have used high-resolution imaging to uncover hidden inscriptions on Mayan stelae, revealing new details about their calendar systems and prophecies. Similarly, the study of ancient star charts has led to surprising discoveries about how early civilizations tracked celestial events with remarkable precision. Yet, for all our progress, much remains unknown. Some believe that significant portions of ancient knowledge still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered in unexplored ruins, forgotten archives, or even within the oral traditions of indigenous peoples. The possibility that fragments of this wisdom survive offers a tantalizing hope that we might one day reclaim the secrets of the ancients and apply their insights to our own understanding of time, destiny, and the universe. As we reflect on the loss and rediscovery of ancient knowledge, it's worth considering what these civilizations might have achieved if their wisdom had been preserved. Their ability to predict celestial events, align their monuments with the stars, and weave together science and spirituality speaks to a level of understanding that we are only beginning to grasp. And while we may never fully recover all that was lost, the pursuit of this knowledge reminds us of the enduring power of curiosity and the timeless quest to unlock the mysteries of the cosmos. Imagine discovering a device so advanced that it rewrites everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. That's exactly what happened in 1901, when divers off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera stumbled upon a corroded bronze artifact that would later be recognized as one of the most astonishing finds in human history, the Antikythera Mechanism. At first glance, it looked like little more than a lump of metal, but as researchers painstakingly cleaned and studied it, they uncovered a complex system of gears, dials, and inscriptions, a machine so sophisticated that it wouldn't be rivaled for over 1,000 years. This wasn't just a relic of the past, it was a glimpse into the mind-boggling ingenuity of the ancient world. The Antikythera Mechanism, often called the world's first analog computer, was designed to predict astronomical events with stunning accuracy. By turning a hand crank, users could track the positions of the sun, moon, and planets, as well as predict eclipses and even calculate the timing of the Olympic Games. The precision of its gear system, which included differential gears, a technology not thought to have been invented until the 16th century, reveals a level of mechanical engineering that defies our assumptions about ancient capabilities. This wasn't just a tool for stargazing, it was a masterwork of science and craftsmanship, a testament to the ancient Greeks' deep understanding of the cosmos. But what makes the Antikythera Mechanism truly remarkable is how it reflects the intersection of astronomy, timekeeping, and prophecy. For the ancient Greeks, predicting celestial events wasn't just about science, it was about understanding the will of the gods. Eclipses, for example, were seen as omens, and the ability to forecast them would have been a source of immense power and prestige. The mechanism's ability to predict these events suggests that it wasn't just a scientific instrument. It was a bridge between the heavens and the earthly realm, a device that allowed its users to navigate not only time but also destiny. This raises an intriguing question. Could the Antikythera Mechanism have been used for more than just tracking the stars? Some researchers speculate that it may have played a role in ancient prophecy, helping priests and scholars interpret celestial signs and divine messages. If so, it would have been a tool not just for understanding the cosmos, but for shaping the course of human events. The idea that such a device existed over 2,000 years ago challenges our modern notions of progress, reminding us that the ancients were far more advanced than we often give them credit for. The Antikythera Mechanism also invites us to reconsider the broader theme of ancient technology and its connection to celestial knowledge. From the pyramids of Egypt to the observatories of the Maya, ancient civilizations around the world developed tools and techniques to study the heavens, often with a level of sophistication that rivals our own. These technologies weren't just about practicality. They were expressions of a deeper worldview, one that saw the cosmos as a living, interconnected system. The mechanism, with its intricate gears and precise calculations, is a powerful symbol of this worldview, a reminder that the ancients didn't just observe the stars, they sought to understand their place within the grand tapestry of the universe. As we marvel at the Antikythera Mechanism, it's hard not to feel a sense of wonder at what else might have been lost to time. How many other devices equally advanced lie buried beneath the earth or the sea, waiting to be discovered? And what might they teach us about the ingenuity and wisdom of our ancestors? The mechanism is more than just an artifact. It's a call to explore the mysteries of the past, to uncover the hidden connections between ancient technology, celestial knowledge, and the timeless quest to understand our place in the cosmos. Imagine standing beneath a darkening sky as the sun is slowly swallowed by shadow. For ancient civilizations, this wasn't just a celestial event. It was a moment of profound significance, a time when the heavens themselves seemed to speak. Across cultures, eclipses were seen as powerful omens, heralds of change, and even moments when the boundaries between the earthly and the divine grew thin. But what did these celestial phenomena mean to the people who witnessed them, and how did they manage to predict these events with such remarkable accuracy? In ancient Babylon, eclipses were more than just astronomical occurrences, they were messages from the gods. The Babylonians, known for their meticulous record-keeping, documented eclipses as far back as the 8th century BC. They believed that a solar eclipse in particular signaled the displeasure of the gods and often foretold the death of a king or the fall of a kingdom. To prevent disaster, rulers would temporarily step down, allowing a substitute king to take their place and absorb the divine wrath. This practice, though seemingly superstitious, reveals how deeply eclipses were woven into the fabric of their society, shaping not only their spiritual beliefs but also their political systems. Meanwhile, in ancient China, eclipses carried a different but equally weighty significance. The Chinese saw the sun as a symbol of the emperor, and an eclipse was interpreted as a celestial warning of imbalance or corruption. According to legend, the failure to predict an eclipse could cost an astronomer their life, a stark reminder of how seriously these events were taken. Yet, despite the high stakes, Chinese astronomers developed some of the most sophisticated methods for predicting eclipses, using a combination of mathematics and observation that rivaled even the Babylonians. Their ability to forecast these events with precision underscores the blend of science and spirituality that characterized their approach to the cosmos. In Mesoamerica, the Maya viewed eclipses through a lens of both awe and fear. They believed that during an eclipse, the sun or moon was being attacked by a celestial monster, and the event was seen as a harbinger of chaos or transformation. To protect themselves, the Maya would perform rituals such as fasting or bloodletting to appease the gods and restore balance. Yet, like their counterparts in Babylon and China, the Maya were also master astronomers. Their codices contained detailed eclipse tables, predicting these events with astonishing accuracy centuries in advance. For them, eclipses were not just moments of danger, but also opportunities for renewal, times when the cosmos could be realigned and harmony restored. What's striking about these ancient traditions is how they combined scientific observation with spiritual interpretation. The Babylonians, Chinese, and Maya didn't just see eclipses as random celestial events, they saw them as part of a larger cosmic order, a language through which the gods communicated with humanity. This dual perspective allowed them to predict eclipses with remarkable precision while also imbuing these events with profound symbolic meaning. It's a reminder that for ancient cultures, the heavens were not just a distant, indifferent void, but a living, interconnected system that shaped every aspect of life. But there's another layer to this story, the idea that eclipses were seen as moments when the veil between worlds was thinnest. Many ancient cultures believed that during an eclipse, the boundaries between the earthly and the divine, the living and the dead became blurred. In some traditions, this was a time for heightened spiritual activity, when messages from the gods or ancestors could be received more clearly. For others, it was a moment of vulnerability when malevolent forces could cross into the human realm. This belief in the permeability of boundaries during an eclipse speaks to a broader understanding of the cosmos as a dynamic, interconnected system, where the physical and the spiritual were deeply intertwined. As we reflect on how ancient cultures viewed eclipses, it's hard not to marvel at the sophistication of their thinking. They saw these events not just as scientific phenomena, but as moments of profound transformation, opportunities to realign themselves with the rhythms of the universe. And while we may no longer interpret eclipses as divine omens, their legacy endures, reminding us of humanity's enduring fascination with the cosmos and our place within it. Whether as warnings, opportunities, or moments of connection, eclipses continue to captivate us, just as they did the ancients, proving that some mysteries transcend time itself. In the shadow of towering temples and beneath star-strewn skies, the priests and seers of the ancient world held a unique and powerful role. They were the mediators between humanity and the heavens, the interpreters of celestial signs, and the voices of prophecy. To their people, these figures were more than just religious leaders. They were bridges to the divine, possessing knowledge that seemed almost otherworldly. But how did they gain such authority, and what secrets lay behind their ability to predict the future and interpret the will of the gods? At the heart of their power was a profound understanding of the cosmos. Ancient priests and seers were not just spiritual guides, they were astronomers, mathematicians, and timekeepers. In cultures like Babylon and Egypt, priests meticulously recorded the movements of the stars and planets, using their observations to create calendars and predict celestial events. This knowledge wasn't just theoretical, it was practical, shaping everything from agricultural cycles to the timing of festivals and royal coronations. By mastering the rhythms of the heavens, these figures gained immense influence, becoming indispensable advisors to kings and rulers, but their role went beyond mere observation. To deliver prophecies, priests and seers often engaged in elaborate rituals designed to connect with the divine. In ancient Mesopotamia, for example, priests known as Baru would examine the livers of sacrificed animals, believing that these organs held messages from the gods. In Greece, the Pythia of Delphi inhaled vapors rising from the earth to enter a trance-like state, during which she would deliver cryptic prophecies. These practices, though mystical in appearance, were rooted in a deep understanding of the natural world. The Baru, for instance, didn't just interpret livers at random, they followed strict protocols based on centuries of observation and tradition. What's fascinating is how these rituals often mirrored the precision of scientific methods. The Mayan priests, for example, used codices filled with complex star charts to predict eclipses and planetary alignments. Their rituals, though steeped in symbolism, were guided by rigorous astronomical calculations. Similarly, the Egyptian priesthood, while performing sacred rites to honor the gods, also relied on precise measurements of the Nile's flooding cycles to advise farmers and rulers. These practices reveal a blending of the spiritual and the scientific, a worldview in which the divine and the natural were inseparable. This raises an intriguing question. Were these ancient seers truly mystical, or were they early scientists? The answer lies in how we define those terms. While their methods may seem esoteric to modern eyes, they were often based on careful observation, experimentation, and the accumulation of knowledge over generations. The Babylonian priests who predicted eclipses, for instance, used mathematical formulas that rival our own. The Mayan astronomers who tracked Venus's cycles did so with a level of accuracy that still astonishes researchers today. Their ability to interpret celestial signs wasn't just a matter of intuition, it was the result of systematic study and innovation. What's perhaps most striking is how these ancient practices challenge our modern distinctions between science and spirituality. For the priests and seers of the ancient world, understanding the cosmos wasn't just about gathering data, it was about uncovering the deeper patterns that connected the heavens to human destiny. Their prophecies weren't just predictions, they were attempts to make sense of a universe that was alive, interconnected, and deeply meaningful. As we reflect on their legacy, it's hard not to admire the ingenuity and dedication of these ancient figures. They were not just keepers of sacred knowledge, they were pioneers of a worldview that saw no separation between the natural and the supernatural. And while we may no longer look to the stars for divine guidance, their methods remind us that the quest to understand the cosmos has always been about more than just facts and figures. It's about finding our place within the grand tapestry of existence. In their rituals, calculations, and prophecies, we find a timeless reminder that the mysteries of the universe are as much about wonder as they are about knowledge. One of the most enigmatic and debated texts in human history, the Book of Revelation, has captivated readers for centuries with its vivid, often terrifying imagery of the end times. But what if its descriptions of beasts, horsemen, and cosmic upheaval aren't just symbolic visions? What if they're deeply rooted in the language of the stars? Scholars have long speculated that the apocalyptic visions described in Revelation might be tied to ancient astronomical symbolism, drawing parallels between its prophetic language and the celestial traditions of earlier cultures. Could this biblical text be less about divine wrath and more about the cycles of the cosmos? At the heart of this theory is the idea that the Book of Revelation uses astrological imagery to convey its message. For example, the famous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse have been interpreted by some as representing the 4 classical elements: earth, air, fire, and water, which were also linked to the zodiac signs in ancient astrological systems. Similarly, the description of a great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns has been compared to constellations like Hydra or Draco, which were often depicted as serpents or dragons in ancient star maps. These parallels suggest that the author of Revelation may have been drawing on a shared celestial vocabulary, using imagery that would have been familiar to audiences steeped in astrological traditions. The celestial connections don't stop there. Revelation's descriptions of cosmic events such as the sun turning black, the moon becoming like blood, and stars falling from the sky echo ancient accounts of eclipses, comets, and meteor showers. To the people of the ancient world, these were not just astronomical phenomena, they were omens, signs of divine intervention or impending change. By framing these events in a prophetic context, the Book of Revelation taps into a long tradition of interpreting celestial signs as messages from the gods, or in this case, from the divine. This raises an intriguing question. Was the Book of Revelation intended as a literal prediction of the end times, or was it a symbolic narrative tied to the rhythms of the cosmos? Some scholars argue that its apocalyptic imagery reflects the cyclical nature of time as understood by ancient cultures. Just as the Mayans saw time as a series of repeating cycles, each with its own spiritual significance, the visions in Revelation could be interpreted as part of a larger cosmic pattern. In this view, the end of the world described in the text isn't a one-time event but a recurring moment of transformation, a celestial reset that mirrors the cycles of the stars. What's particularly fascinating is how this interpretation aligns with broader themes in ancient prophecy. Across cultures, from the Oracle of Delphi to the Mayan codices, prophecies often used celestial language to convey their messages. Eclipses, planetary alignments, and other astronomical events were seen as divine signals, markers of change that could guide human actions. The Book of Revelation, with its dramatic visions of the heavens in turmoil, fits seamlessly into this tradition. It's a reminder that ancient prophecies weren't just about predicting the future, they were about interpreting the cosmic language of the universe. But there's another layer to consider, the idea that the Book of Revelation might have been a coded message for its original audience. Written during a time of persecution for early Christians, the text's vivid imagery could have served as a way to communicate hope and resistance without drawing the ire of Roman authorities. By framing its message in celestial terms, the author may have been invoking a shared understanding of the stars as symbols of divine order and justice, a way of saying that, no matter how chaotic the world seemed, the cosmos itself was on their side. As we explore the celestial symbolism of the Book of Revelation, it's hard not to marvel at the depth of its connections to ancient traditions. This isn't just a text about the end of the world. It's a reflection of humanity's enduring fascination with the heavens and our attempts to find meaning in their movements. Whether as a prophetic warning, a cosmic allegory, or a coded message of hope, Revelation reminds us that the stars have always been more than just points of light. They are a language, a map, and perhaps even a mirror of our own hopes and fears. And in that, it joins a long lineage of ancient prophecies that sought to bridge the gap between the earthly and the divine, the present and the eternal. The stars we see today are not the same as those our ancestors observed thousands of years ago. Over millennia, the night sky shifts ever so slightly, a phenomenon known as the precession of the equinoxes. This slow wobble of Earth's axis, caused by the gravitational pull of the sun and moon, creates a celestial dance that unfolds over a staggering 26,000 years. To ancient astronomers, this wasn't just a scientific curiosity, it was a cosmic clock, ticking away in the background of human history and shaping their understanding of time itself. Imagine the sky as a vast, slowly turning wheel. Every 72 years, the position of the equinoxes, the points where the sun crosses the celestial equator, shifts by about 1 degree. Over centuries, this gradual movement causes the constellations to drift, until the stars that once marked the spring equinox are replaced by new ones. Ancient cultures, from the Egyptians to the Greeks, recognized this pattern and wove it into their myths, calendars, and prophecies. For them, the precession wasn't just a cycle, it was a story, a grand narrative written in the stars. One of the most intriguing interpretations of this phenomenon is the concept of the Great Year, a cycle of roughly 26,000 years that mirrors the precession. Just as a year has seasons, the Great Year was thought to encompass vast cosmic eras, each with its own themes and transformations. The Greeks, for example, believed that humanity passed through ages of gold, silver, bronze, and iron, with each age reflecting a different stage of spiritual and moral development. Similarly, Hindu cosmology speaks of yugas or epochs that cycle through periods of enlightenment and decline. These ideas suggest that ancient cultures saw time not as a straight line but as a spiral, with history repeating itself on a cosmic scale. But how did these civilizations incorporate the precession into their timekeeping and prophecy? The answer lies in their meticulous observation of the heavens. The Egyptians, for instance, aligned the Great Pyramid of Giza with the stars of Orion's belt, a constellation they associated with Osiris, the god of rebirth. Over time, as the precession shifted Orion's position in the sky, the pyramid's alignment would have served as a marker of this celestial change. Similarly, the Mayans, with their advanced astronomical knowledge, tracked the precession through their long count calendar, using it to predict not just eclipses but also the dawn of new cosmic eras. This raises a profound question. Did ancient cultures believe that the precession held the key to understanding the future? Some scholars argue that the Great Year and its associated cycles were seen as a way to anticipate major shifts in human history. Just as the seasons bring changes to the natural world, the precession was thought to herald transformations in society, spirituality, and even the fate of civilizations. This idea is echoed in the prophecies of cultures around the world, from the Mayan predictions of cyclical renewal to the Norse myths of Ragnarok, a cataclysmic event followed by rebirth. As we explore the precession of the equinoxes, it's hard not to marvel at the depth of ancient wisdom. They saw the cosmos not as a static backdrop but as a dynamic, ever-changing system, one that mirrored the rhythms of life on Earth. And while we may no longer look to the stars for guidance in the same way, their insights challenge us to consider the bigger picture, to see our place in the universe not as isolated moments but as part of a grand, interconnected cycle. Whether as a cosmic clock, a map of destiny, or a reminder of our shared humanity, the precession invites us to look up and wonder, what stories might the stars still have to tell? The Hopi people, one of the oldest continuous cultures in North America, have long been regarded as guardians of time and wisdom. Their prophecies, passed down through generations, speak of cycles of destruction and renewal, each tied to celestial events and the rhythms of the natural world. Unlike the linear view of time that dominates modern thought, the Hopi see time as a series of interconnected spirals where the past, present, and future are woven together in a cosmic dance. At the heart of their teachings is the belief that humanity moves through distinct eras or worlds, each ending in a great purification before giving rise to the next. These cycles are not random, they are guided by the stars, the sun, and the sacred alignment of the earth. Central to the Hopi prophecies is the concept of the blue star Kachina, a celestial sign said to herald the transition from one world to the next. According to their traditions, the appearance of this star will mark the end of the current era and the beginning of a new age of balance and harmony. While the exact nature of the blue star remains a mystery, some have speculated that it could refer to a supernova, a comet, or even a planetary alignment. What's striking is how closely this idea parallels the prophecies of other ancient cultures, from the Mayan predictions of cyclical renewal to the Hindu concept of yugas. Across continents and centuries, these traditions share a common thread: the belief that celestial events are not just markers of time but catalysts for profound transformation. But the Hopi prophecies go beyond mere prediction. They also offer a roadmap for navigating these cycles, emphasizing the importance of living in harmony with the earth and the cosmos. The Hopi see themselves as stewards of this knowledge, entrusted with the responsibility of preserving the balance between humanity and nature. Their rituals, ceremonies, and sacred practices are designed to align their community with the rhythms of the universe, ensuring that they remain attuned to the signs of change. This deep connection to the natural world is reflected in their agricultural practices, their architecture, and even their language, which is rich with metaphors drawn from the land and the sky. What makes the Hopi perspective so compelling is how it bridges the spiritual and the scientific. While modern astronomy might dismiss the idea of celestial signs as superstition, the Hopi view these phenomena as part of a larger, interconnected system. They see the stars not as distant, indifferent lights, but as living entities that communicate with humanity through subtle signs and symbols. This holistic approach to the cosmos is echoed in other indigenous traditions around the world, from the Maori of New Zealand to the Dogon of Mali, each of whom has preserved their own unique understanding of the heavens. Together, these cultures form a mosaic of wisdom, offering insights into the mysteries of time and the universe that science is only beginning to uncover. This raises an intriguing possibility. Could indigenous knowledge hold the key to unlocking ancient secrets that have been lost to the modern world? The Hopi prophecies, along with those of other indigenous cultures, suggest that the answers we seek may not lie in technology or data alone, but in the wisdom of those who have lived in harmony with the earth for millennia. Their teachings remind us that the cosmos is not just a mechanical system to be studied, but a living, breathing entity that speaks to us through the language of the stars. And as we face the challenges of our own time, climate change, social upheaval, and the search for meaning in an increasingly fragmented world, their insights offer a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. The Hopi prophecies invite us to consider a different way of understanding time, one that is not bound by the rigid constraints of clocks and calendars, but is instead fluid, cyclical, and deeply connected to the rhythms of the earth and the heavens. They challenge us to look beyond the surface of events and see the deeper patterns that shape our lives. And as we explore their teachings, we might find that the wisdom of the ancients is not just a relic of the past, but a guide for the future, a reminder that the stars above have always been more than just points of light. They are a map of time, destiny, and the eternal quest for balance and harmony. Myths and legends have always been more than just stories. They are windows into the minds of ancient cultures, revealing how they understood the cosmos and their place within it. Embedded within these tales are layers of meaning, often encoding astronomical knowledge and prophetic insights that transcend generations. The myth of Phaethon from Greek mythology, for instance, is far more than a cautionary tale about hubris. It tells of a young man who loses control of his father Helios's sun chariot, careening across the sky and scorching the earth before being struck down by Zeus. On the surface, it's a dramatic story of divine punishment, but beneath the surface lies a deeper truth. The Greeks may have been describing a catastrophic celestial event, such as a comet or meteor strike, that left a lasting impression on their collective memory. By weaving this astronomical phenomenon into their mythology, they preserved a record of cosmic events that shaped their understanding of the heavens. Similarly, the Norse myth of Ragnarok speaks of a time when the world will be consumed by fire and ice, only to be reborn anew. This apocalyptic vision, filled with battles, natural disasters, and the death of gods, mirrors the cyclical nature of time as observed through celestial patterns. The Norse saw Ragnarok not as a one-time event but as part of a larger cosmic cycle, echoing the ancient belief in the eternal return, a theme found in many cultures. The myth's vivid imagery, from the wolf Fenrir devouring the sun to the stars falling from the sky, reflects the Norse understanding of astronomical phenomena like eclipses and meteor showers. Far from being mere fantasy, these stories encode a profound awareness of the cosmos and its rhythms, passed down through generations as both prophecy and wisdom. What makes these myths so fascinating is how they blend the observational with the symbolic. The ancients didn't just record what they saw in the sky, they imbued it with meaning, turning celestial events into narratives that explain their world and its mysteries. The story of Phaethon, for example, could be seen as a metaphor for the sun's path across the sky, while Ragnarok's fiery end and rebirth reflect the cycles of the seasons and the precession of the equinoxes. These myths weren't just entertainment, they were tools for teaching, preserving knowledge, and predicting the future. By embedding astronomical truths within their stories, ancient cultures created a living archive of cosmic wisdom, one that could be passed down even to those who couldn't read or write. This raises an intriguing possibility. Could myths hold the key to decoding ancient prophecies? If myths encode astronomical knowledge, then perhaps they also contain clues to understanding the prophecies that have puzzled scholars for centuries. Take, for example, the Mayan prophecies tied to their long count calendar. While these predictions are often interpreted as warnings of doom, they may also reflect the Mayans' understanding of celestial cycles, much like the Norse myth of Ragnarok. By examining the myths and legends of ancient cultures, we might uncover patterns and insights that reveal how they foresaw the future not through magic, but through a deep understanding of the cosmos. But myths do more than just record events, they also offer guidance. The story of Phaethon, for instance, serves as a reminder of the dangers of overreaching and the importance of balance, themes that resonate with the challenges we face today. Similarly, Ragnarok's promise of renewal after destruction offers a message of hope, suggesting that even the darkest times are part of a larger cycle of transformation. These myths are not just relics of the past, they are living traditions offering wisdom that remains relevant in our modern world. As we explore the role of myth in ancient prophecy, it's clear that these stories are more than just tales. They are maps of the cosmos encoded with knowledge that has shaped human history. They remind us that the ancients saw the heavens not as a distant, indifferent void, but as a living, interconnected system that spoke to them through signs and symbols. And by studying these myths, we might just uncover the keys to understanding not only the past, but also the future. After all, if the stars guided our ancestors, perhaps they still have something to teach us today. Long before the invention of GPS or even the compass, ancient civilizations looked to the stars as their ultimate guide. Across cultures, from the deserts of Mesopotamia to the river valleys of China, star maps served as both practical tools and sacred texts, offering a way to navigate not only the physical world but also the mysteries of time and destiny. These celestial charts weren't just diagrams of the night sky. They were intricate records of human ingenuity, blending science, spirituality, and prophecy into a single, unified vision of the cosmos. One of the earliest known star maps comes from ancient Babylon, the Mul, a pin, a clay tablet dating back to the 7th century BCE. This remarkable document lists the positions of stars and constellations, along with their rising and setting times throughout the year. But it goes further, connecting these celestial patterns to agricultural cycles, religious festivals, and even omens. For the Babylonians, the stars weren't just markers of time. They were messengers of the gods, offering clues about the future. The Mul, a pin, was more than a star chart. It was a cosmic almanac, a tool for understanding the rhythms of the universe and the fate of nations. Meanwhile, in ancient China, astronomers were creating their own star maps with astonishing precision. The Dunhuang star chart, discovered in a Buddhist cave and dating to the Tang dynasty, is one of the oldest surviving complete star maps in the world. It depicts over 1,000 stars arranged in precise constellations and reflects a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. What's fascinating is how these maps were used not just for navigation or timekeeping, but also for prophecy. The Chinese believed that changes in the stars, such as the appearance of a comet or the shifting of a planet, could signal major events, from the rise of a new emperor to the outbreak of war. Their star charts were more than guides to the heavens, they were keys to unlocking the future. The accuracy of these ancient star maps is nothing short of astounding. Without telescopes or modern technology, cultures like the Babylonians and Chinese were able to map the stars with a level of precision that rivals our own. The Mul, a pin, for example, includes detailed observations of planetary movements, while the Dunhuang chart accurately plots stars that are invisible to the naked eye. This level of knowledge required not only meticulous observation, but also a sophisticated understanding of mathematics and geometry. It's a testament to the ingenuity of these ancient astronomers who saw the cosmos not as a chaotic void, but as an orderly, predictable system. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Could these star maps hold hidden messages about the future? Many ancient cultures believed that the stars were not just random points of light, but part of a larger, interconnected system that influenced human destiny. The Babylonians, for example, used their star maps to predict eclipses and other celestial events, which they saw as omens of divine will. The Chinese, similarly, believed that the heavens held the keys to understanding both personal and collective fate. By studying the patterns in the stars, they sought to anticipate major events and guide their actions accordingly. This raises a profound question. Were these ancient star maps simply tools for navigation and timekeeping, or were they also encoded with prophetic knowledge? The answer may lie in how these cultures viewed the cosmos. For them, the stars weren't just distant lights, they were a living, breathing system, a language through which the gods communicated with humanity. By mapping the heavens, they weren't just creating a guide to the night sky. They were decoding the very fabric of the universe, uncovering patterns that could reveal the future. As we explore these ancient star maps, it's hard not to marvel at the depth of their wisdom. They remind us that the ancients didn't just observe the stars, they sought to understand their place within the grand tapestry of the cosmos. And while we may no longer look to the heavens for guidance in the same way, their insights challenge us to consider the bigger picture, to see our own lives as part of a larger, interconnected system. Whether as maps of time, tools of prophecy, or windows into the mysteries of the universe, these ancient star charts invite us to look up and wonder, what secrets might the stars still hold? Among the many mysteries of ancient astronomy, few are as intriguing or as hotly debated as the knowledge of the Dogon people. Living in the remote cliffs of Mali, the Dogon have long held a deep understanding of the Sirius star system, a knowledge that seems almost impossible for a culture without access to modern telescopes or scientific instruments. They speak of Sirius A, the brightest star in our night sky, and its companion, Sirius B, a white dwarf star invisible to the naked eye. Even more astonishing, they describe Sirius B as a dense, heavy star, a detail that aligns perfectly with modern astronomical findings. How did the Dogon, isolated and without written records, come to possess such precise knowledge of a star system over 8 light-years away? One theory suggests that this knowledge was passed down through generations of oral tradition, preserved in rituals and ceremonies that date back thousands of years. The Dogon's intricate cosmology, which includes detailed descriptions of Sirius B's 50-year orbit around Sirius A, reflects a sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics. Some researchers argue that this wisdom could have been acquired through meticulous observation over centuries, with each generation refining and adding to the collective knowledge. Yet the precision of their descriptions raises questions about how such observations could have been made without advanced tools. This leads to another, more controversial explanation: the possibility of extraterrestrial influence. Some speculate that the Dogon's knowledge of Sirius might have been imparted by visitors from beyond our world, an idea that connects to broader theories about ancient astronauts and lost civilizations. While this theory remains speculative, it's worth noting that the Dogon themselves speak of beings called the Namo, who they believe came from the Sirius system to bring wisdom and civilization to Earth. Whether these tales are myth or memory, they add a layer of intrigue to the Dogon's astronomical expertise, suggesting that their understanding of the stars might be part of a larger cosmic story. What makes the Dogon's knowledge even more remarkable is how it aligns with ancient prophecies and the broader theme of celestial wisdom. Many cultures, from the Egyptians to the Maya, have linked Sirius to their myths and prophecies, often seeing it as a harbinger of transformation or renewal. The Dogon's connection to Sirius adds to this tapestry, offering another example of how ancient people saw the stars not just as distant lights, but as sources of profound insight. Their understanding of Sirius B, in particular, challenges conventional narratives about the limits of ancient astronomy, suggesting that they may have had access to knowledge that we are only now rediscovering. This raises a fascinating question. Could the Dogon's wisdom be a remnant of a much older, perhaps even global, system of astronomical knowledge? Some researchers propose that the Dogon's understanding of Sirius might have originated in ancient Egypt, a civilization known for its advanced astronomy and reverence for Sirius as the star of Isis. If true, this would suggest a shared lineage of celestial wisdom passed down through trade routes or cultural exchanges. Alternatively, it might point to an even more ancient source, one that predates recorded history and connects humanity to a time when the stars were more than just points of light. They were guides, teachers, and messengers. The implications of the Dogon's knowledge are profound, not just for our understanding of ancient astronomy, but for how we view humanity's place in the cosmos. If a remote African tribe could possess such precise knowledge of a distant star system, what other secrets might lie hidden in the traditions of other cultures? And if their wisdom does indeed have extraterrestrial origins, what does that mean for our understanding of history and our connection to the universe? These questions challenge us to rethink the boundaries of what we know, or think we know about the past. As we explore the mystery of the Dogon and Sirius, we're reminded that the cosmos has always been more than just a backdrop to human history. It's a source of inspiration, a repository of wisdom, and perhaps even a link to civilizations beyond our own. The Dogon story invites us to look up at the night sky with fresh eyes, to consider the possibility that the stars above might hold secrets we've only begun to uncover. And in that, they remind us that the quest to understand the universe is not just a scientific endeavor, it's a journey that connects us to the very essence of what it means to be human. When a comet streaks across the night sky, its brilliant tail lighting up the darkness, it's hard not to feel a sense of awe or even unease. For ancient cultures, these celestial visitors were far more than just spectacular light shows. They were powerful omens, often seen as harbingers of change, upheaval, or even divine intervention. Unlike the predictable movements of the stars and planets, comets appeared suddenly and unpredictably, blazing across the heavens before vanishing just as quickly. This unpredictability made them seem otherworldly, almost as if they were messengers from the gods themselves, carrying warnings or prophecies that could alter the course of history. Take Halley's Comet, one of the most famous comets in human history. Its appearances have been meticulously recorded across cultures and centuries, often coinciding with major historical events. In the year 1066, Halley's Comet appeared in the skies over England, just months before the Norman conquest. The Bayeux Tapestry, a medieval masterpiece, even depicts the comet as a fiery omen, with anxious onlookers pointing to the sky as King Harold Roman II prepares for the fateful Battle of Hastings. To the people of the time, the comet wasn't just a celestial phenomenon. It was a sign of impending doom, a divine signal that the world as they knew it was about to change. But Halley's Comet is just one example. In ancient Rome, the appearance of a comet was often interpreted as a sign of the emperor's impending death or the rise of a new ruler. When Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC, a comet appeared shortly after his death, and it was widely believed to be his soul ascending to the heavens. The Romans even minted coins featuring the comet, immortalizing it as a symbol of Caesar's divine status. Similarly, in China, comets were seen as broom stars, sweeping away the old to make way for the new. They were often associated with political upheaval, natural disasters, or the fall of dynasties, their appearance sparking both fear and hope for what might come next. What's striking is how these interpretations reflect a universal human tendency to find meaning in the unknown. To ancient cultures, comets were more than just random cosmic events. They were part of a larger narrative, a story written in the stars. Whether seen as warnings, heralds of change, or messages from the gods, comets were woven into the fabric of prophecy, offering a way to make sense of the unpredictable and the uncontrollable. This connection between comets and destiny reveals a deeper truth about how our ancestors viewed the cosmos, not as a cold, indifferent void, but as a living, interconnected system that spoke to them through signs and symbols. This raises an intriguing question. Why were comets so often linked to destruction or transformation? One possibility lies in their rarity and unpredictability. Unlike the steady rhythms of the stars and planets, comets appeared suddenly and dramatically, their fiery tails cutting across the sky like a sword. To a culture that saw the heavens as a reflection of the divine, this sudden intrusion could only mean one thing: the gods were sending a message, one that demanded attention. Comets became a kind of celestial shorthand for upheaval, their appearance signaling that the old order was about to be swept away. But there's another layer to this story. Some ancient cultures saw comets not just as harbingers of doom, but as symbols of renewal. In Mesoamerican traditions, for example, comets were sometimes associated with the god Quetzalcoatl, a feathered serpent who brought knowledge and transformation. Similarly, in Norse mythology, comets were linked to the fiery end of Ragnarok, but also to the rebirth of the world that followed. This duality, destruction and renewal, reflects a profound understanding of the cycles of time, a theme that resonates across cultures and centuries. As we reflect on the role of comets in ancient prophecy, it's hard not to marvel at how these fleeting celestial visitors captured the imagination of so many cultures. They remind us that the cosmos has always been more than just a backdrop to human history. It's a source of inspiration, a mirror of our hopes and fears, and perhaps even a messenger from the divine. Whether as warnings, omens, or symbols of renewal, comets invite us to look up at the night sky and wonder, what messages might the heavens still have in store for us? And in that wonder, we find a timeless connection to those who came before us, gazing at the same stars and searching for meaning in the mysteries of the universe. Among the great tragedies of human history, few losses are as profound as the destruction of the Library of Alexandria. Imagine a place where the world's knowledge was gathered under one roof, a treasure trove of scrolls, maps, and texts that held the collective wisdom of ancient civilizations. Built in the 3rd century BC, the library was more than just a building. It was a beacon of learning, housing works on every subject imaginable, from philosophy and mathematics to medicine and, crucially, astronomy and prophecy. Scholars from across the ancient world flocked to its halls, drawn by the promise of access to unparalleled knowledge. But what made this library so extraordinary wasn't just its size. It was its mission to preserve and expand humanity's understanding of the cosmos and its mysteries. The library's collection was vast, with estimates suggesting it held anywhere from 40,000 to over 500,000 scrolls. Among these were works by the greatest minds of antiquity: Ptolemy's groundbreaking theories on planetary motion, Eratosthenes' calculations of the Earth's circumference, and countless texts on celestial omens and prophecy. These writings weren't just academic pursuits, they were tools for navigating the world and understanding humanity's place within it. The library's scholars believed that by studying the stars and interpreting their movements, they could unlock the secrets of time, destiny, and the divine. It was a place where science and spirituality intertwined, where the pursuit of knowledge was seen as a sacred act. But this golden age of learning came to a devastating end. The exact circumstances of the library's destruction remain shrouded in mystery, with theories ranging from accidental fires to deliberate acts of war. What is clear, however, is the catastrophic loss that followed. As the library burned, centuries of accumulated knowledge vanished in the flames, taking with it insights into astronomy, prophecy, and the workings of the universe that might have changed the course of history. The loss was incalculable, not just for the ancient world, but for all of humanity. It was as if a bridge to the past had been severed, leaving us to piece together fragments of a once vast mosaic. Yet, even in the face of such loss, the story of the Library of Alexandria isn't one of total despair. In the centuries since its destruction, scholars and archaeologists have worked tirelessly to recover fragments of its wisdom. Texts that once resided in its halls have been found in other parts of the world, preserved in monasteries, private collections, and even fragments buried beneath the sands of time. For example, parts of Ptolemy's Almagest, a cornerstone of ancient astronomy, survived thanks to later translations and copies. These discoveries remind us that while the library itself may be gone, its legacy endures in the ideas it preserved and inspired. What's even more intriguing is the possibility that some of the library's secrets may still exist, waiting to be uncovered. Hidden archives, forgotten manuscripts, or even oral traditions passed down through generations could hold traces of its lost knowledge. In recent years, advances in technology have opened new doors for exploration, from digital reconstructions of ancient texts to the use of multispectral imaging to reveal faded or damaged writings. These efforts offer a glimmer of hope that we might one day recover more of the library's treasures, shedding light on the astronomical and prophetic wisdom of the ancients. The story of the Library of Alexandria is a poignant reminder of how fragile knowledge can be and how vital it is to preserve it. Its destruction wasn't just the loss of books, it was the loss of a world of understanding, a connection to the stars and the stories they told. Yet it also inspires us to keep searching, to dig deeper into the past in the hope of reclaiming what was lost. After all, the library's greatest legacy isn't just the knowledge it held, but the enduring human curiosity that built it, and the determination to keep seeking answers, no matter how many centuries or calamities stand in our way. Ancient civilizations didn't just rely on the sun to mark the passage of time. They crafted ingenious devices that transformed the way they understood the world. While sundials are perhaps the most well-known, they were just the beginning. From the steady drip of water clocks to the precise alignments of merkits, these tools were marvels of engineering, blending practicality with a deep connection to the cosmos. What's fascinating is how these devices weren't just about telling time. They were instruments of prophecy designed to unlock the secrets of the heavens and guide humanity through the rhythms of existence. Take the water clock or clepsydra, for example. Used by cultures from ancient Egypt to China, this device measured time by the regulated flow of water from one container to another. It was more than just a clock, it was a symbol of life's flow, a reminder that time, like water, is both precious and unstoppable. The Egyptians used water clocks to mark the hours of the night, ensuring priests could perform rituals at precise moments. Meanwhile, in ancient Greece, the clepsydra played a role in legal proceedings, limiting the length of speeches in courts, but its significance went beyond the practical. The steady, predictable flow of water mirrored the orderly movements of the stars, reinforcing the idea that time itself was a cosmic force to be understood and respected. Then there's the merkit, an ancient Egyptian device that might seem simple at first glance but reveals a profound understanding of astronomy. This tool, consisting of a plumb line and a sighting bar, was used to align structures with the stars, particularly the North Star. By observing the movement of celestial bodies, Egyptian astronomers could determine the time of night with remarkable accuracy. The merkit wasn't just a timekeeping device. It was a bridge between the earthly and the divine, a way to ensure that temples and tombs were perfectly aligned with the heavens. This alignment wasn't just about precision, it was about connecting the physical world to the spiritual, creating spaces where the sacred and the scientific intertwined. What's striking about these devices is the level of knowledge and skill required to create them. The water clock, for instance, required an understanding of hydraulics and precise measurements to ensure accuracy over long periods. The merkit, on the other hand, demanded a deep familiarity with the night sky and the ability to translate celestial patterns into practical applications. These weren't just tools, they were expressions of a culture's relationship with time and the cosmos. reflecting a worldview that saw the universe as orderly, interconnected, and deeply meaningful. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. These devices may hold clues to ancient astronomical secrets. The precision of the Merkit, for example, suggests that the Egyptians had a sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics, one that allowed them to predict astronomical events like solstices and equinoxes. Similarly, the water clock's design reveals insights into how ancient cultures perceived time not as a linear progression, but as a cyclical force tied to the rhythms of nature and the heavens. These devices weren't just about keeping track of hours and minutes. They were about decoding the language of the universe, uncovering patterns that could reveal the future or guide human actions. This raises a profound question. Could these ancient timekeeping devices have been used for more than just practical purposes? The answer lies in how these cultures viewed the cosmos. For them, the stars weren't just distant lights, they were a living system, a source of wisdom and prophecy. By creating tools that mirrored the movements of the heavens, they sought to align themselves with the forces that shaped their world. And in doing so, they may have left behind a legacy of knowledge that we're only beginning to understand. As we explore these ancient devices, we're reminded of the ingenuity and vision of our ancestors. They didn't just measure time, they sought to understand its deeper meaning, to connect with the rhythms of the cosmos, and to uncover the secrets of the universe. And while we may no longer rely on water clocks or Merkits, their legacy endures, a testament to humanity's enduring quest to make sense of time, destiny, and our place in the grand tapestry of existence. Whether as tools of precision or instruments of prophecy, these devices invite us to look back and to wonder what other secrets they might still hold. Dreams have always held a mysterious power over humanity, a gateway to realms beyond the waking world. For ancient cultures, dreams were far more than the random firings of a sleeping brain. They were sacred messages, direct lines of communication from the divine. Across civilizations, from the banks of the Nile to the plains of North America, dreams were seen as a conduit for prophecy, offering glimpses into the future and insights into the will of the gods. But how did these cultures interpret their dreams, and what can their beliefs teach us about the connection between the subconscious and the stars? Take the story of Pharaoh's dreams in the Bible, one of the most famous examples of dream prophecy in history. In the book of Genesis, Pharaoh dreams of 7 fat cows devoured by 7 lean cows, followed by 7 healthy ears of grain swallowed by 7 withered ones. These vivid images, seemingly nonsensical, were interpreted by Joseph as a divine warning. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of famine. This prophecy, rooted in the symbolism of dreams, not only saved Egypt from disaster but also elevated Joseph to a position of power. What's striking is how the dream's imagery mirrors the cycles of nature, harvests, seasons, and celestial patterns. For the ancients, dreams weren't just personal experiences, they were cosmic messages tied to the rhythms of the universe. But the role of dreams in prophecy isn't unique to the Bible. Native American shamans, too, saw dreams as a powerful tool for accessing spiritual wisdom and guiding their communities. Among the Lakota, for example, dream visions were central to their spiritual practices. A young warrior named Black Elk famously received a prophetic vision in which he saw the future of his people, a vision filled with symbolic imagery of animals, trees, and the sacred hoop of life. These visions weren't just abstract fantasies, they were seen as direct communications from the spirit world, offering guidance and warnings. The Lakota believed that dreams could reveal hidden truths, connecting individuals to the larger web of life and the cosmos. What's fascinating is how these dream prophecies often carried celestial symbolism. In many traditions, the stars and planets weren't just distant lights, they were living entities capable of influencing human lives. The ancient Greeks, for instance, believed that dreams could be sent by the gods through the medium of the stars. The dream Oracle of Amphiaraus, a sacred site in Greece, was said to receive prophetic visions while sleeping under the open sky, where the stars themselves whispered their secrets. Similarly, the Maya associated certain dreams with the movements of Venus, a planet they saw as a harbinger of both war and renewal. These connections suggest that dreams were more than just personal experiences. They were part of a larger cosmic dialogue. This raises an intriguing possibility. Could dreams have been a tool for accessing lost knowledge? Some researchers suggest that the vivid, symbolic nature of dreams might have allowed ancient seers to tap into a collective unconscious, a reservoir of wisdom shared across cultures and generations. The recurring themes in dream prophecies, cycles of abundance and famine, the interplay of light and darkness, the dance of celestial bodies point to a deeper understanding of universal patterns. Perhaps dreams served as a kind of intuitive technology, allowing individuals to access insights that were otherwise hidden or forgotten. As we explore the role of dreams in ancient prophecy, it's hard not to marvel at how these cultures wove together the personal and the cosmic. Dreams weren't just about individual destinies, they were about the fate of communities, the balance of nature, and the will of the gods. And while we may no longer see dreams as divine messages, their legacy endures, reminding us that the mysteries of the subconscious are as vast and interconnected as the stars above. Whether as warnings, guides, or windows into the unknown, dreams continue to captivate us, just as they did the ancients, proving that some forms of knowledge transcend time itself. Stretching across the arid plains of southern Peru, the Nazca lines are one of the most baffling mysteries of the ancient world. These enormous geoglyphs, some spanning hundreds of meters, depict everything from geometric shapes to intricate animals, etched into the desert floor with astonishing precision. But why were they created, and what messages might they hold for us today? For decades, researchers have debated their purpose, with theories ranging from astronomical calendars to elaborate offerings for the gods. Could these enigmatic designs be more than mere art? Could they be a map of the heavens, a prophetic code, or even a message to beings beyond our world? One of the most compelling theories suggests that the Nazca lines served as celestial markers, aligning with the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. Some researchers have noted that certain lines point to the positions of celestial bodies during solstices and equinoxes, suggesting they may have been used to track the passage of time. The famous hummingbird geoglyph, for instance, has been linked to the rising of specific stars during key agricultural periods. If true, this would place the Nazca lines in the same tradition as other ancient monuments like Stonehenge or the Great Pyramid structures designed to harmonize with the rhythms of the cosmos. But the Nazca lines weren't just about timekeeping. For the Nazca people, who thrived between 200 BCE and 600 CE, the sky was a sacred space, a realm where the gods resided. Some scholars believe the lines were created as pathways for these deities, guiding them to places of worship or offering. The sheer scale of the designs, visible only from above, has led to speculation that they were intended for celestial beings rather than humans. Could the Nazca have been trying to communicate with the gods, using the desert as a canvas to send messages into the heavens? This idea taps into a broader theme found in many ancient cultures, the belief that the stars and the divine were intimately connected. What's even more intriguing is the possibility that the Nazca lines encoded prophetic knowledge. Some researchers have proposed that the geoglyphs represent a kind of celestial code, mapping out future events or cycles of time. The spider, for example, has been interpreted as a symbol of rain, a precious resource in the arid Nazca region, while the monkey could represent fertility or renewal. These symbols, combined with the line's potential astronomical alignments, suggest a deeper layer of meaning, one that goes beyond simple decoration. The Nazca may have been trying to predict or influence the future, using their art as a tool to navigate the uncertainties of life. Then there's the mystery of how the Nazca lines were created. Without the ability to fly, how did the Nazca people achieve such precision in their designs? Some believe they used simple tools and careful planning, while others suggest they may have had access to technologies or knowledge that we've yet to uncover. The sheer complexity of the lines, combined with their enduring clarity despite centuries of wind and erosion, speaks to a level of skill and understanding that defies easy explanation. It's a reminder that the ancients were capable of feats that still leave us in awe. As we ponder the purpose of the Nazca lines, one thing becomes clear: they are more than just a collection of ancient drawings. They are a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the cosmos, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Whether as celestial markers, prophetic symbols, or messages to the gods, the lines invite us to look beyond the surface and consider the deeper connections that bind us to the universe. And in their mystery, they remind us that some questions have no easy answers, only the tantalizing possibility of discovery. Sacred texts have long been more than just spiritual guides. They are time capsules, preserving the wisdom of ancient civilizations in ways that transcend generations. From the poetic hymns of the Vedas to the prophetic visions of the Bible and the intricate teachings of the Quran, these writings are filled with layers of meaning that go beyond their religious significance. Within their verses lie hidden codes, metaphors, and symbols that encode ancient astronomical knowledge and prophetic insights, offering a glimpse into how our ancestors understood the cosmos and their place within it. Take the Vedas, for example. These ancient Indian texts, composed over 3,000 years ago, are filled with references to celestial phenomena. The Rig Veda, the oldest of the Vedic scriptures, speaks of the sun as a chariot drawn by 7 horses, a metaphor that might describe the 7 colors of the spectrum or the 7 days of the week. Other passages describe the moon's phases, the movement of stars, and even the concept of time as cyclical, mirroring the cosmic cycles observed in other ancient cultures. These descriptions aren't just poetic flourishes. They are windows into a sophisticated understanding of the heavens, preserved in the language of myth and metaphor. Similarly, the Bible contains numerous references to celestial events, often woven into its prophetic narratives. The Book of Daniel, for instance, speaks of visions filled with symbolic imagery, beasts, thrones, and stars that scholars believe may reflect ancient astronomical observations. The Star of Bethlehem, described in the Gospel of Matthew, has been interpreted as a celestial event, possibly a planetary conjunction or a comet, marking the birth of Jesus. These passages suggest that the ancient authors saw the stars not just as distant lights, but as part of a divine language, a way for God to communicate with humanity through the rhythms of the cosmos. The Quran, too, is rich with celestial symbolism. Verses describe the sun and moon as moving in precise orbits, the stars as signs for navigation, and the heavens as a tapestry of divine order. The Quranic emphasis on the regularity of celestial movements reflects a belief in a universe governed by laws, a concept that aligns with modern scientific understanding. At the same time, these descriptions carry a deeper spiritual meaning, reminding believers of the Creator's power and the interconnectedness of all things. What's fascinating is how these texts use symbolism to encode their wisdom. Metaphors like the sun as a chariot or the stars as divine signs aren't just literary devices. They are part of a larger tradition of using imagery to convey complex ideas. This approach allowed ancient knowledge to be passed down through oral traditions and written texts, ensuring its survival even as languages and cultures evolved. But it also means that decoding these messages requires more than just reading the words. It demands an understanding of the cultural and historical context in which they were written. Modern scholars are rising to this challenge, using interdisciplinary approaches to unlock the secrets of these sacred texts. Archaeoastronomers, for example, are comparing biblical and Vedic descriptions of celestial events with historical astronomical records, searching for patterns that might reveal hidden truths. Linguists and historians are analyzing the metaphors and symbols used in these texts, uncovering layers of meaning that have been overlooked for centuries. This work is shedding new light on how ancient cultures understood the cosmos, revealing a worldview that was both deeply spiritual and remarkably scientific. This raises a profound question. Could these sacred texts hold timeless truths that still resonate today? The answer may lie in their ability to speak to universal themes, the cycles of nature, the search for meaning, and the connection between the earthly and the divine. These texts remind us that the quest to understand the cosmos is as much about wonder as it is about knowledge, and that the stars have always been more than just points of light. They are a language, a map, and a mirror of our own aspirations. As we delve into the wisdom preserved in these sacred texts, we're reminded that the past is not so distant after all. The ancients may have lacked our technology, but they possessed a depth of insight that continues to inspire and challenge us. And in their words, we find not just the echoes of a bygone era, but a timeless invitation to look up at the stars and ask, what secrets might they still hold? Throughout history, the divide between ancient wisdom and modern science has often seemed vast, a chasm separating mysticism from empirical knowledge. But in recent decades, that gap has begun to narrow as cutting-edge research unveils surprising connections between the two. What was once dismissed as myth or superstition is now being re-examined through the lens of science, revealing that our ancestors may have understood far more about the cosmos than we ever imagined. From the rediscovery of the Antikythera Mechanism to the decoding of ancient star maps, modern technology is shedding new light on the intricate systems of knowledge crafted by ancient civilizations. Take the Antikythera Mechanism, for example. When this corroded bronze device was first pulled from the depths of the Mediterranean Sea in 1901, it was initially dismissed as a mere curiosity. But as researchers painstakingly reconstructed its intricate gears and dials, they realized they were holding what many now call the world's first analog computer. Capable of predicting celestial events like eclipses and planetary movements, the mechanism reveals a level of astronomical sophistication that rivals our own. This wasn't just a tool for ancient Greeks to track the stars. It was a testament to their ability to harness the rhythms of the cosmos, blending mathematics, engineering, and prophecy into a single, awe-inspiring device. Its rediscovery has forced us to rethink the limits of ancient technology and the depth of their celestial knowledge. Then there are the ancient star maps like the MUL. Pin tablets from Babylon or the Dunhuang star chart from China. These artifacts, once seen as primitive records of the night sky, are now being decoded with the help of advanced imaging and computational tools. What's astonishing is their precision. The MUL, a pin, for instance, not only catalogued the positions of stars but also tied them to agricultural cycles and prophetic omens. Similarly, the Dunhuang chart, with its meticulously plotted constellations, reflects a deep understanding of celestial mechanics, all achieved without telescopes or modern instruments. These maps weren't just practical guides, they were windows into a worldview that saw the heavens as a living, interconnected system, one that could reveal the future if only we knew how to read it. But what does this mean for our understanding of history, and perhaps even the future? For one, it challenges the notion that ancient cultures were primitive or superstitious. Their ability to predict eclipses, map planetary movements, and align their monuments with celestial events suggests a level of scientific inquiry that was far ahead of its time. It also raises the possibility that some of their prophecies, once dismissed as mere folklore, might contain kernels of truth. Could their cyclical view of time, their belief in cosmic patterns, offer insights into the challenges we face today? As we grapple with issues like climate change and societal upheaval, the ancient idea of time as a series of interconnected cycles, each marked by transformation and renewal, feels strikingly relevant. This bridging of ancient and modern knowledge isn't just about uncovering the past, it's about reshaping our understanding of humanity's place in the universe. The more we learn about the ancients' ability to decode the stars, the more we realize that their wisdom wasn't just about survival, it was about connection. They saw the cosmos not as a distant, indifferent void, but as a living system, one that spoke to them through signs and symbols. And as modern science continues to validate their insights, we're reminded that the quest to understand the universe is as much about wonder as it is about knowledge. The enduring relevance of ancient wisdom lies not just in its historical value, but in its ability to inspire us to look beyond the boundaries of our own understanding. Whether through the precise gears of the Antikythera Mechanism or the celestial patterns of the MUL, a pin, these ancient systems challenge us to see the cosmos as they did, not as a collection of random events, but as a grand, interconnected story. And in that story, we might just find the tools to navigate our own uncertain future, guided by the timeless wisdom of those who came before us. As we reach the end of this journey through the mysteries of ancient prophecies, astronomical predictions, and timekeeping, one thing becomes undeniably clear. The ancients saw the world in ways that were both profoundly different and strikingly similar to our own. For them, the cosmos wasn't just a backdrop to life. It was a living, breathing entity, a source of wisdom, and a guide to understanding time, destiny, and humanity's place in the universe. From the precise alignments of the Great Pyramid to the prophetic visions of the Oracle of Delphi, from the intricate gears of the Antikythera Mechanism to the celestial symbolism of the Nazca lines, these ancient systems reveal a level of sophistication that continues to astonish us. What's truly remarkable is how these cultures wove together science, spirituality, and prophecy into a single, unified vision. They didn't just track the stars, they saw them as messengers, as part of a cosmic language that could reveal the future and guide human actions. Their calendars weren't just tools for agriculture or governance. They were maps of destiny, encoding cycles of time that reflected the rhythms of the universe. And their monuments weren't just feats of engineering. They were bridges between the earthly and the divine, designed to capture and decode the secrets of the heavens. But how did they achieve such advanced knowledge? This question remains one of the greatest mysteries of human history. Without telescopes or modern technology, how did they predict eclipses with pinpoint accuracy, align their structures with celestial events, and create devices like the Antikythera Mechanism? While some of their methods have been uncovered, much of their wisdom remains shrouded in mystery, waiting to be rediscovered. Perhaps their achievements were the result of generations of meticulous observation, passed down through oral traditions and sacred texts. Or perhaps they had access to knowledge that has since been lost, secrets of time and destiny that we are only beginning to unravel. As we reflect on these ancient systems, it's impossible not to wonder what their wisdom might mean for us today. In a world driven by technology and data, their holistic approach to the cosmos offers a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Their understanding of time as cyclical, their belief in the transformative power of celestial events, and their ability to find meaning in the stars challenge us to see the universe not as a collection of random phenomena, but as a grand, interconnected story. And in that story, we might just find the tools to navigate the challenges of our own time. So, what other secrets of time and destiny might still be waiting to be uncovered? Could the answers lie buried in forgotten ruins, hidden in ancient texts, or encoded in the very fabric of the cosmos? The pursuit of these mysteries isn't just an academic exercise, it's a journey of discovery that connects us to the wisdom of our ancestors and invites us to look at the universe with fresh eyes. As we continue to explore, we're reminded that the stars above have always been more than just points of light. They are a map, a guide, and perhaps even a mirror of our own hopes and fears. What do you think? Are there ancient secrets still waiting to be revealed? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Together, we can continue to uncover the timeless wisdom of the ancients and explore the mysteries that still lie hidden in the stars. After all, the quest to understand the universe is a journey that belongs to all of us, past, present, and future.